Hello, everyone. We're back with episode 2 of our summer series of What's the Hype?
What's the Hype?
2 special guests again, the OGs. Back again Thursday, June 19th. Summer's here. Invitational's in the books. Junior programs are rolling. Course is rolling. Everything's rolling.
Yeah, we're just getting
Jim,
started.
How are we doing?
Just getting started.
Doing good.
Just getting
Feels
started.
like we just opened yesterday and we've already done the invitational. So
Yeah, the invitational.
Yeah, we were just counting the
moving.
other day, like, we checked one of the big events off the calendar, and then we just started Chariot, 4th of July, Labor Day, member,
ladies member,
Club
Solheim
Champ.
Cup.
Pretty
Yeah.
wild.
Got a long way to go.
2 weeks from tomorrow is July 4th.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
I hadn't even thought about that.
It's nuts. It's nuts. So, Adam, you mentioned the invitational. Why don't you talk a little bit about what all goes into it? Maybe for someone that's not familiar with the member guests, why is it such one of the premier, if not the premier event of the year at Hyperion?
So the invitational, it's our big deal member guest. It's a way for you as a member when you get into the event. We'll start that way because it's hard to get into this event. I will admit to that, but it's a way for you to show off your home club to a guest. I know we get a lot of dads and sons that play, which is always fun to see because that's also Father's Day weekend. So what better way to spend 3 days than with your son or your dad, hanging out, playing golf, and hopefully having some fun. So the member guest or the invitational starts on Thursday with a practice round. We do a shootout after that, and then we have some dinner and some drinks. And then the format for the invitational, we do 5 9-hole matches with flights. So we have 9 flights of 6. Each team in that flight plays each other for points. The team with the most points in the flight is your flight champion. So come Saturday afternoon, we finish up the last 2 matches, and then we determine our 9 flight champions and a wild card team. So the wild card team is essentially the highest placing second place team, which this year our wild card team managed to win the entire shootout, which is always kind of fun to see. I believe they're the second wild card team to win.
Okay.
Cool. I'd have to go back and check. So, but that would have been Andy Woodley and his brother Joe Woodley coming out on top over Larry Jackson and Dave Arsenal. It was an exciting end of the shootout. We tied the first time we played 18, and then we had to go back. And Joe Woodley hit 2 really, really good shots. And like he said when he got off the green, someone says that's the toughest up and down in the course. He goes, I'm glad no one told me before I hit the chip shot.
Yeah.
So, but well played by everybody. So good.
Yeah.
Good.
The shootout was kind of, you and I were kind of looking at each other. We had music player and we had all kinds of things.
There was a lot more going on than a normal shootout. It was
Yeah.
It was interesting. It was an experience. So
Yeah, well, congrats to Joe and Andy. That they've played it ever since I can remember, and they've been close a few years, and finally came out on top. So, what does that weekend look like for you and your staff? I know it's definitely a grind, but kind of maybe tell our listeners what all you guys do, the hours you put in.
So a lot of our work probably starts the Sunday prior to that tournament start. Dealing with handicaps, figuring everybody's teams, getting everything lined up, getting everything just right. So when we send that email out with the flights and everything on Tuesday, and we get a big sigh of relief when we don't hear anything back about, hey, my partner's handicap is messed up. So Tuesday is kind of the high water point for us where we get stressed out a little bit more than normal. And
Hope not to have to go all the way back to the drawing board.
Yes. So once that goes out and there's no problems, then we kind of autopilot for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. A lot of hours. I'm blessed to have a great staff. Charnay does a lot of hard work for this event. Tommy and Will take point more so on the member, but it's everybody's working, everybody's having fun. 5:30 we're here at 7 on Thursday morning, cleaning carts, getting everything set up, getting gifts out. 5:30 a.m. on Friday, getting everything ready. That's the big gift put out day, so there's a lot of work there. And then we're here at 6 on Saturday, and they're 12-hour days. And I can tell you this: I was home on Sunday, and I think I fell asleep at noon and didn't get up till 6 the next morning. So, but it's good work. It's fun, and it's definitely a different week than our day-to-day operation, which is a little bit kind of fun for the staff to experience.
Yeah,
That's the time of year. Like, you get a minute at home, it's just it's shutdown mode, and head hits the pillow, and you're out. Yeah.
Where Mom says, "Don't let Dad lay down on that couch. He's going to be useless."
Yeah,
So-
I thought we received a lot of compliments from participants, both members and their guests, just on the overall experience, from condition of the golf course to the staff, to your staff, Adam, to the staff inside in the clubhouse. And I think everybody did an outstanding job. It was very well run, very smooth. You kind of it's gotten to a point where we're so familiar with how we run it, and it goes so smooth that you kind of look for things to do during the day because you're just kind of what's next. But we know what's next, and that's a good feeling. And having a strong team really helps with that.
It's good when it looks easy, but it's definitely not easy.
Yeah. Well, no, those early mornings, like Adam said, 5:30 alarm goes off, 4:15. I know that's what time Jim gets up every day this time of year.
I think Darren got up at 3:30 one day.
Darren had to watch his news. He had to get his news. Darren's
News and coffee, 3:30.
Yep, news and coffee. Yep. So, and then we had Father's Day the next day on Sunday, and 270 some people on the tee sheet. I know Tommy opened that morning.
It was Tommy's year this year.
Tommy drew the short straw, but
so
that's okay.
It was Will 3 years ago, Charnay last year, Tommy this year. I think it's my turn next year,
Your turn next
we'll
year.
see.
Okay.
So,
Huh.
but yeah, 270 in the sheet. Started all the dads that were trying to play in the afternoon and got rained out. That wasn't the intention, but
Oh, that's right. It did rain.
it didn't rain a little bit. But yeah, it's that Sunday after is it's a big day still. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
it really
a lot
is.
going on.
Got the U.S. Open too.
They're all big days.
They really are, Jim.
This place is just packed all day, every day. It's
From
great
the tee
to see.
sheet to the
It's
pool
just
to the
great to see.
restaurants to even the tennis courts.
People
Feel
have
the same.
fun everywhere.
It's just nuts. Okay, so this weekend we go to 6:30, correct, on the weekends?
6:30 for probably about 5-6 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And then so that gives us 82 total tee times on the weekend.
Okay.
Take 82 times 4, and that's about how many players we can have. Like to Evan's point, we were down for 270 on Father's Day and Sunday, so that is about our average on the weekend is about 260, 270. So we usually run out of carts by about 11,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're just turning and burning and go. So
And this weekend it's going to be a heat index of 105, and there's not a single open tee time.
correct. Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
Get a wet
Yeah.
towel.
Wet
or,
towel.
Or two.
Yeah, a couple. So, Adam, what upcoming events can the membership look forward to? I know the member sign up was last Monday or the Monday before that?
I think it was June 3rd, Tuesday. So we do got 86 current teams signed up for the men's member. That's September 12th through the 14th, I'm guessing. Don't quote me 100% on those dates. It is in September. Like to Evan's point, we're 2 weeks from the July 4th General Stars and Stripes. July gives us the ladies' chariot as well, which is full of 80 people. We're first
Wow.
time in 12 years that we've gotten to that number. So
Outstanding.
So great
Fantastic.
job out of you ladies signing up. That's going to be a great event. That's the end of July. And then August is our championship month. You got husband-wife championship. Then you got this Herman Sani in there this second week in August. Third weekend in August is your club championship. And then you got the parent-child that next week. And then you roll into September. You got Labor Day. You got the Solheim Cup. In August, I do believe you got ladies member. All these, and Global is August 1st, I think.
That's right.
So all those events outside of the men's member open up 30 days in advance to signups. So for Global Twilight, that's going to open up on July 1st. So
Awesome.
make sure you get signed up because there are capacity limits on those events.
I saw that June Twilight's full. July
June-
Twilight's nearly full.
Getting there,
Will fill out. Just sell out in a matter of minutes.
Yep.
Crazy.
Inherently dangerous, but fun to do.
Very dangerous. Okay, Jim. Lawn
Yes, sir.
watering ban. What is going on? How does
Yeah.
that affect us?
Yeah, to my knowledge, it has to do with Des Moines Waterworks, or now I think it's Central Iowa Waterworks' ability to treat nitrates in the water. Of course, nitrogen comes with fertilizer, largely agricultural fertilizer. But they can only treat that so fast, and I don't know the science behind it. If it's a limited amount of product that goes into the water to treat it, or product that comes out of the water they have to dispose of. I don't know what the science behind that is, but they can only do it so fast. And they want to keep that water safe and healthy for all of us to drink, which we kind of take for granted here in the United States and Central Iowa, but it's obviously vital for everyone. And so we're trying to play our part. Here at Hyperion, the golf course, the bulk of the property, the 100 acres over here, is watered from a well. We draw from the Beaver Creek gravel bed. It's about 75 feet deep. It's on the corner of the property down by 3 Green. and we pull water out of the ground. We have a permit. We monitor the well. We report on the depth of the water table. We meter how many gallons a year we use. We have a permit for that. I report to the DNR every year. So the bulk of our water comes out of the ground. However, the driving range is city water. That's municipal water, just like you and I drink. And so when Waterworks is struggling to keep up, they ask everyone to stop watering their lawns, conserve water as much as possible, don't wash your car, don't let the kids run around in the sprinkler, et cetera, et cetera. And they've asked all the golf courses to cut back considerably. Most of the city courses, I believe, are on city water, like Wakanda Club, Waveland, Grandview, all those courses, I believe, could be wrong, are on city water. So that's a big chunk of water every single night. For us, the range is about 10 acres. Of that, we don't even water but about half of it, maybe 4 acres on any given night. The greens, tees, nurseries, the new practice fairway, the target greens. But that accounts for 20,000 gallons. And so
Every day.
Every day that we have nice weather and sun,
That's
typically
not raining, basically.
we have to water, right? And so we've cut it back to where we're just watering the greens, and we've applied some wetting agents to help the soil retain some moisture. And we've gotten just enough rain over the course of the last week, 1/10 here, 2/10 there, to kind of keep us going. If this water restriction continues on and we don't get these timely rains ahead of these 95, 105 temp indices, there may be times where we have to just hit off of the mats because the entire tee could eventually start to wilt and go dormant, and we can't be beating it up when the tee wilts and goes dormant. It'll survive on its own in a state of dormancy, and when the rain comes or the restriction is lifted and we're allowed to water again, it'll snap out of it in a matter of a week or two, but we just have to stay off of it to allow it to survive during that period. So hope for rain, hope for moderate temperatures, and I guess that the rivers and streams, nitrate levels drop, so we all have plenty of water to drink and bathe with. So
How are those city courses? I mean, if they can't water, that's got to be a challenge.
yeah, it's a big challenge. So we have a drought plan here at Hyperion. Should the DNR ever say, look, the groundwater table is so low that now municipalities that use groundwater for drinking water, they're going to cut us back. Well, we've got contingencies and plans in place. The big thing would be golf carts, keeping the golf carts off the fairways, for instance. I was just at Wakanda Club, had a nice visit yesterday. They look great despite the restrictions. We've been getting just enough rain to kind of keep them going, but they're really kind of getting worried about this coming hot stretch of 95 and 100 degree temperatures, because they've cut way back, less than a third of what you would normally want to water during a weather pattern like this. A lot of hoses. They have 9 or 10 guys walking around all day, greens, tees, fairways, hand watering every bent grass surface out there. Big challenge.
Wow.
A little easier. They don't have 300 players every day, typically.
Not
but
usually.
it's still a big challenge for them.
So we had our soft opening of the short game facility a couple Fridays ago, and we were hoping to get that going here relatively soon, but with the watering ban and really minimal watering over on that new area outside the green, we're going to have to push that back a little bit. We're close.
The
really
green's coming. It's
really
looking
popped
better
here.
and better all the time. The T1 really likes the sun. It likes the warmth and humidity. It's filling in all the time. But like I said, we get through this watering restriction. I mean, we're mowing at 135, which is the height of cut that we start the year at on the golf course. So it's getting there. It's filling in.
Okay.
It's going to be nice.
Good.
We're just going to handle it with little white gloves.
Baby
here.
along a little bit. So
Yeah.
we're close on that. We really had a nice turnout for that short game area. I know Adam and Sarah were over there along with myself, a little wine tasting, and actually allowed some of our members to hit some shots. And really, really fun to see, really cool to see all the different shots you can hit over there. And Adam and Sarah walked through, have different golf balls over there, a little bit, higher end. TP5s, is that what they're called?
Yep,
TaylorMade?
TP5s, yep.
So,
Team TaylorMade.
Team TaylorMade.
Team TaylorMade. That's
Got
Adam.
it on today.
That's Adam. So, Jim, the golf course is in great shape. you've got a really
It
good
is.
team this
Yeah, it
year,
really
just like
is.
Adam's team. But you've really, I mean, the compliments we were getting this past weekend was like people have never seen it this good. I mean, it's always been good, but it's really, really good. So that's compliments to you and your staff and everything
they put
you guys
a lot
do.
of work into it
You
this
guys
year. Yeah.
are grinding ahead. Okay, a couple more things here. We'll wrap up. We're talking golf course projects. Believe it or not, fall is not too far away. That's the time of year where we do a lot of projects on the golf course, the driving range, and more particularly this year, the lower practice green. So the Greens and Grounds Committee is looking at expanding that area. That area, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, but Sarah primarily uses that area for most of her programming, right?
Yes.
Off the course programming.
Off the course programming or Op 36 and whatnot. She uses that green a lot. You know, once that new area is ready, you'll probably see her use both. But yeah, it's a massive green. It's a great practice green. It'd be nice to have a couple more things like a bunker and some more fairway to practice with, and just kind of help everybody, you know, get better at their games, because you know that new practice area is great. It's fantastic. It's going to be wonderful. Can you really walk there though? Maybe not. You know, just take some time. So this area is important to us too, and just the amount of practice space that we have here is fantastic to have, because you could have 10 people in that green and still have more than enough room to do what you want to do by yourself and not bother anybody else. So the more practice area we have, the better off we are, is what I believe.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at doing down there is just expanding the bent grass chipping area. There really isn't a ton of bent grass outside the collar that you can chip from. So to the south, there's quite a bit of room of that from that green. A couple trees that are pretty dinged up from the derecho that are going to come down, and we're going to look to potentially tackle that this fall, as well as even a bunker, greenside bunker on the north side of the green. So exciting stuff there. Now that we have the one across the street, it'll be great to have another bunker down here. Just more options for the membership, growing membership, I should say.
Sarah's got so many groups all the time. You know, it's nice. Will be nice to have kind of an ample area for members to go, so leave the groups alone, and vice versa. So.
Yep, they will. Yep.
Okay, last thing, ash trees. Jim, I think I've learned more about ash trees the last couple months than I'll ever learn about ash trees. But we've got a real issue with ash trees on a few holes, but most noticeably down between 4 and 5.
Yep.
And then on the fence line of 4. So we have a golf course master plan that addresses that, as well as moves the fairway. So why don't you kind of walk us through what we're kind of just starting the process. This isn't official by any means, but something that we're going to have to address down there is those ash trees. But Jim can explain a heck of a lot better than me, and I'll turn it over to him.
Yeah, so a little bit of context. We used to have 150 ash trees. Most recently, we're down to about 75 ash trees. And we're already starting to see damage on the trees, even though that we're treating them. This year, because the pest population is so high, we've had to go all the way to the highest rate of application of those insecticides. It's gotten a lot more expensive. This year we treated 40 trees at a cost of about $6,000, and so I've identified about 30 that we're going to discontinue treating. They're small, out of play, poor condition, that sort of stuff. The largest population is holes 4 and 5. There's between 25 and 30 ash trees on those two holes. And so that we're really, really reliant on this species that is really, really threatened. And what I'm hearing from the arborists, both people that have an interest in treating and taking down trees, as well as independent folks like up at Iowa State, is, gosh, I really would caution you about being so reliant on that species, because who knows, maybe all the holes, maybe the product that we're using, the population becomes resistant to that product. So that they've strongly urged me to start diversifying the stand where possible. And our biggest problem, like you said, is on 4. North of 4 Green, and what really got my mind churning is north of 4 Green, we have a big ash tree. It's in pretty rough shape, but I've been treating it despite the fact that it's in rough shape, because it's so important to the long hitters. Like the guys that play in the Sani, they don't want to go out of bounds, so they'll bomb it over to 5, and then they'll toss it over onto 4 Green. Here's a maple tree, big important maple tree there. It's also in kind of rough shape. So we're watching those every single year, and we may at some point decide that they're just too rough a shape, we got to take them down. So that got my mind churning of like, well, if everybody wants to be left, the master plan already calls to move the fairway further to the north or to the left on number 4. And that came out of the conversations with every single handicap and gender group during the focus group process of the master plan focus groups, was how 70th Street has gotten so busy. We've got Casey's there and so much traffic. It's intimidating. And so, you got this problem right next to the green. You got the problem, there's tons and tons of ash trees down that left side. There's some maples that are half rotten. There's just a lot of bad trees, and something's going to happen eventually. Either a storm will take them out. There's a bunch of those ash trees that are already in bad shape. So I looked to the master plan as a way to solve for these poor condition trees, all these ash trees. And the master plan calls to shift the fairway to the left about 8 to 10 yards. And then it's going to allow you to have, 8 or 10 more yards of rough down the right-hand side. And it's going to allow us to plant trees on the inside of the fence down the right-hand side, which is probably one of the more, if not the most intimidating tee shot out here, I would say.
Yep.
I'm not a very good player.
I think the Israel boys would agree with you.
And so I'm excited about that. We've got good feedback from the committee. Everybody seems to think that, this is logical. This makes sense. We think it will be well received. We're going to discuss it at the board level next week. If everybody seems to think, this is feasible, this is a good idea for Hyperion, I'll start to put together different, strategies. Do we do this all at once? Do we do this over a course of a couple years in phases, that sort of thing? But, it's an exciting time. I think people will really like it. We'll obviously have to communicate it really well, exactly what's going to happen.
Be a big
why.
change.
Right.
A lot of trees coming down.
But it's ultimately, I think number 4 will be a lot more fun to play. Once it's all grown in and done.
Yep.
So.
And too, something with the trees that we all talk about amongst ourselves, but safety is so important on the golf course. And there's a few trees, particularly the one that kind of shades on number 5, the women's tee box. It's a maple, right?
Yeah.
That's in really rough shape. It's okay right now, but that'll be a tree that'll have to come down, as well as the one right behind it to the east. That'll open up that.
That's an ash tree.
That's an ash tree. That'll open up 5 tee box, because for the people that play the green and the black tees, the black's not so much when it's way back, but when the blacks are up a little bit and the greens, those 2 trees are really hanging over really the line of fire, and we're only able to use a portion of that tee box. But obviously with cutting down trees, we never want to cut down trees, but it's part of golf course maintenance. But planting trees is also part of golf course maintenance. So that's what we're going to get proactive with, especially in between 4 and 5, where a lot of those ash trees are going to have to come down sooner or later, probably sooner. But the planting will occur as well to try to,
there's opportunities in there, whether we move forward with this plan or not, where we can start plopping trees in there. So we'll get some of those going probably late summer, early fall. So.
Yep, a lot more to come on that. Again, the board's going to meet next week. Jim's going to present what we proposed to the board. Committee is very supportive of it, so I wouldn't be surprised if we move forward with some sort of changes here, probably as early as late fall, early winter when it comes to tree maintenance. But all that will be very well outlined in communications, videos, maybe more podcasts, aerial shots, HFC master plan. That's got the golf course master plan, because if you want to go to that site, go to the golf course master plan, you can really see what Paul Miller, our architect, has drawn up for 4. It's really quite unique. Monday night we had our greens and grounds meeting, and Jim was able to go out there and basically line the fairway and the rough with where the new fairway would be. It really shapes the hole really nice, really opens it up on the left side, and I think something the members would really get excited about. So exciting to be able to do these projects. Years ago we were kind of scraping by with capital dollars and different things, and now club's in a really great spot. It helps with the tremendous support of the membership, but we're able to do a lot of projects like lower practice, like across the street, the short game, new short game facility over there that, maybe we wouldn't be able to do years ago, but now we can just say, let's go do it, and we're doing them. So
it's fun to, it's fun to look back at. We're making big moves.
Big moves.
Frequently.
Big moves.
On the golf course, up at the clubhouse. It's fun.
It's fun. All right, you guys. Appreciate your time today. I know it's busy. You guys are running from one activity to the other. Jim's playing mechanic. Adam's dealing with junior golf. I'm running around. Here we go.
Gonna be hot. It's gonna be a good weekend for ice cream and maybe some
Should be.
cervezas,
Maybe some cervezas
Big
at the
Bopper.
pool.
That sounds pretty good right now.
some high noons.
You know, those buckets of High Noons and White Claws and Coors Lights go pretty well on hot days at the pool.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks everyone. Appreciate your time. We'll be back next month.
With the hype.